Hey everybody, this is Kaboom, and today we're going to talk about item frames and storage, and some of the stuff I've learned from messing around with these really cool new item frames that have been added into the game. Now the item frame has been in the game, the little shelfie thing, that's new. Also, in case you didn't know, chests are now connected to the crafting bench and to the other workstations, so you don't have to go get resources out of the chest anymore. You just need to go up to the resource station or the workbench that you're wanting to use and use it, and it pulls the items out of all the chests that are connected to the village. All right, looks like we got some guys who want to talk to me about my extended car warranty. Okay, let's talk about wall mounts. First off, wall mounts are now found in the utility section underneath the village tab right here. One of the first things I noticed when I was putting these wall mounts up is that sometimes the shelves will act up really weird if you have them right next to each other. As you can see, this has wood in it, and sometimes the shelf will pop out and other times it won't. It's kind of weird. I was actually playing around with this and I was able to get them all, oh there we go, I was able to get them all sticking out, but when I logged in and logged out, yeah, this would happen. So after messing around with them, I'd always recommend having a space around your wall mount. This will ensure that the shelf pops open correctly every time. Another thing, the wool fabric and the silk fabric are wider than the other items on the shelves. Over here, I'm just kind of showing you guys the different height of the frames and actually how low down you can actually put the wall mount, and you can get it pretty low. And I've not had any issues with this so far. Over here, you can see right here, we got this wall mount next to the chest. Now, let me show you this real quick, because this will have issues at times. So, it's now gone. Now it won't work. So this is what I like to call bulk storage, where you have these two chests and the item above it. And if you run through here, you can see the item from the front side and the top side. I would not go any higher than this. If you go any higher than this, it starts to become very difficult to see the item that's up on top of everything else. But let's say you have a bunch of little stuff that you just want to have in one chest, and you want to have frames on there so you can see what's in that chest. Well, you can do this, and you can access both the chest, but you'll notice that if you accidentally go too high, it will go into the wall mount, and you'll actually access it instead of the chest. And then down here, this piece is kind of like in your way, so it pops you up, causing it just a little bit harder to access that chest. So with that in mind, what I ended up designing was this recessed area so that the items are a little bit lower and you're able to access this chest a lot easier. And you'll also notice above that I flipped the frames and I moved the pieces up, giving you a wider area to hit access points on both of the chests. You can do this, but as you can see how like the strike zone is a lot smaller than over here. And personally, if I'm trying to get in a chest, I just want to run up, access it, and get what I want, and then get out of here. So real quick, let me show you how to build this over here. So if you guys want to do this style, you can. I personally like to start off with a foundation block. Okay, now we're going to take a 16 by 2 by 1, and we want it flush with the top of this foundation block. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to place down 2 more pieces. And then right here on the bottom piece, we're going to snap into it, and we're going to go 3 out like that. Once that's done, you're going to come over here, you're going to knock this piece out and knock this piece out. Now we're going to go back into our menu and we're going to grab another foundation block. We're going to snap it in right there to this one so it's level, so they're equal heights. And then we're going to move it out till it turns green, and then we're going to place it down. And this is going to give your little indentation for you to be able to put down your item frames. Now you're going to grab the chest that you want to use. We're going to go ahead and use the blue sapphire chest because I like the color of it. And now you're going to grab the wall that you want to use, and you're going to make sure it's like flush on both sides of that foundation. So be sure it's on. And then you're going to move it forward till it turns red, and then you're going to move it back 1 and then place it down. You want that as close as it can get to the chest. Now we're going to put our shelf on. We're going to 1, 2, like that. Now we're going to grab our shelves again, and we're going to put down 3 of these here. Now, obviously, you can expand this as far as you want on both sides, or even put some on the other side. Definitely recommend leaving this much space between your chests just to make easier pathways up and down. So now we're going to grab another wall and we're going to snap it in here. Okay, now we're going to put our top shelf on and we're going to go 1 and 2 to make sure it's high enough. And then we're going to come down here on top of this and we're going to move this over. It needs to be flush with that, and we're going to move it all the way over till we get to the end, and then we're going to snap it down, and then we're going to snap another one in there like this. And this is what it should look like up to this point. Now you're going to knock out this floor, and now you're going to knock out that floor. Now you're going to grab a pressure plate and you're going to snap it on here like that. Grab your 16 by 16 floors. Make sure it's in there. Make sure it's pushed all the way up. If it's not, it'll not allow you to put the second piece in, which can be a little frustrating. Move it over and then move it this way till it turns green. Place it down and then snap into the floor and do that 2 times till you have this piece brought out like this. You have this upside down floor here. So now we can knock this out. Oops, didn't mean to knock that one out. And then I personally, you don't have to do this, but I personally like having a little bit of a header up here. So I like to put an extra floor on there. And then you're gonna grab a wall and you're gonna put a wall on here. Your wall is gonna be upside down like that. And if you have those little studs sticking out, make sure they're pointing to the back so they don't get in your way. And now we're gonna grab our wall mounts and we're gonna put our wall mounts on this wall up here that's upside down. That's gonna cause the frame to flip and allow your pieces to come out of the shelf upside down also. So now we're gonna move that down until I've got the 2 studs on there like that. I like it. I like how it's centered. And then move it down like this. And then always off the wall and then pull down. And then down here we're gonna put wall mounts as close to the bottom as we can. Make sure there's no space between the floor and the wall mount. So you can see now this is flush and allows you to access that. And then up here we have our shelf upside down, showing us what item is in there. And now we have access to both of these chests pretty easily. Now we can knock that out. And there we go. There is our storage system. So now you can work this down as far as you want to, depending on how big your storage area is. And now when you come in, you, man, access. And you have a nice little compact area with a lot of your smaller items. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could also put lights up here on this railing. And that will help you see those top items at night. And I would be remiss if I did not point out that, honestly, as awesome as some of these wall mounts are, I do think some of the older storage methods, which I have a video to linked in the description down below, are still usable. Like, I don't think we should just give up on all of our old storage principles. Honestly, this right here is a nice, compact, simple way to store away all your wood. Now, here's another thing. I'm going to put a link to Joker Plays video. This is the wall mounts on their side. And what I basically did was I built this wall going the normal way, and then I pulled a wall sideways off of it, which allows me to put these wall mounts on here. Okay, let's jump into the trophy world and I'll show you guys around there. Alrighty, welcome into my trophy world. As you guys can see, I have this divided up in wood over here, and I really like how this is. We got planks, regular wood, and then the rods. And then over here, I've got all of the stone stuff, from granite to red rocks to obsidian to marble to malachite. And then I just threw the sand and sandstone over here because they're used here in these stone breakers. And then over here, we've got a lot of the metals, all the metals from Star Wars, glass, everything that's used in the metal smelter goes here. And then down here, I have my metal smelter to tell me that that's where they're at. And then over here, we got the gem cutter, and here are all the different gems you can get in the game, processed and unprocessed gems. And I went ahead through the bright core and the blast core over here. Down here, I've got my spinning wheel and my loom. And over here, I've got these all kind of pushed together with items that go into the spinning wheel, items here that are produced from the loom. And then here we just have the different animal parts. I got all the wolf claws in here, but I'm using that wolf claw as a marker. With that all being said, this is what I kind of envision storage looking like in this game, at least how I'm planning on doing a lot of it. All these are, again, connected to 134 different chests. So all these chests are connected to these workstations. which is awesome because I don't have to go and stick and dig and look around in all of them. I can just access these, do what I need to do, and when I come back from looting and pillaging, I can just throw myself quickly into these chests and move on to my next adventure. So with that all being said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, oh my gosh, were they stuck? Help me, I'm stuck. Watching you eat. How can you see me? You're stuck on the floor. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more videos like this, and as always, may the brick snap in your favor. Bye!